Well folks, welcome to another video. Hope you're still all in good health and form out there, and if you happen to be watching this at Christmas, Merry Christmas to you, hey. Now, as the title suggests, I'm here to try and decoy wood pigeons to this stubble field. I haven't filmed the hide setup as I usually do because I arrived here late and wanted to get set up and cracking as quick as possible, which will probably have some of you going, "Yay! No wild hide footage! Quicker into the shooting, hey!" But I still want to take a moment and explain my setup and equipment. Boo! Nobody gives it! This is a family show and we have to ration you. Not everybody likes a silly voice. Ah. Anyway, there's next to no wind this morning, so I just set the decoys out in a semicircle in front of me with a large opening for the birds to land in directly in front of the hide. The decoys themselves are a full-bodied, fully flocked decoy that I touched up with a wee bit of cheap paint at one point when they were starting to show a wee bit of wear. The furthest of which I've set out at about 30 yards away. This field was cut quite a while ago, as it was winter barley, which ripens earlier in the year, compared to a nearby field which was planted in the spring and still isn't ripe enough to harvest yet. So I'm hoping to take the pressure off of that standing crop by decoying the birds to this stubble field, plus it'll also make the birds much easier to find and lift, which causes less damage to the standing crop. The rifle, of course, that I brought with me this morning was my John Bowkett blueprinted BSA Superten. It's running at about 15 foot-pounds of energy with the 15.89 grain JSB Diabolo exacts. The scope on it is a Nikko Stirling Targetmaster 4-16 by 44, which I've mounted the Tactacam 5.0 and FTS unit to it, and it has a Vira silencer up front. Right, that's all the waffling finally done. Let's get into it, hey. Yay! This one's landed that far to the right. I've had to swap hands to try and get a bead on it. It's a young wood pigeon, as it doesn't have the white neck bars yet, but they do taste really nice. Since some of the birds were quite hard to see in the long stubble, I overlaid the Tactacam footage over the camcorder footage, as some people seem to like that in the last video I did. I don't know how I missed that, not at that range. A few fellers, but no pigeon. Well, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Another bird to the far right. Maybe if I ever change this Superten, I'll look at something with an ambidextrous stock. Now that's how you want to drop a pigeon. By this stage I'd managed to drop a few birds, so I decided to go out and set them up as decoys. If you happen to notice incoming birds all of a sudden flaring off just before they land, then there's a good possibility that one of the birds you've either shot or even your plastic decoys is lying on its back or in an unnatural position, and you need to go out and fix it, otherwise it'll put off other birds from landing. And there's my little home from home for the morning. It's a little 2-man pop-up hide called the Double Bush from bushwear.com. I've also threw one of the 2-ply stealth nets out over it and added some dry grass and weeds to it to help it blend into the hedge more. Not quick enough, but in this long stubble it's hard to get a shot at some of the birds. There seems to be some feral pigeons flying around with the wood pigeons, but I leave them alone just in case there's somebody's racing birds. Wrong way, dipstick! Don't know what happened me there. Think the pellet went high and just skimmed over its back. But just in case, I had a few practice shots at the stick I'd set out for my 30-yard marker. And I seem to be on the money. So, there's nothing wrong with the rifle, it's just the nut behind the butt. Yep, it's definitely the nut behind the butt. She works better with pellets in it, hey? Now that's more like it. Just have another quick wee tidy up here. Plus I've noticed a lot of the birds seem to be tending to land on the extreme right hand side of the pattern, which means I've had to take a few shots from my left hand shoulder. So to try and save that, I've lifted some of the dead birds and moved them over to the left hand side of the pattern to try and encourage the birds to land that direction, and hopefully make the shooting a wee bit easier for me. all of a sudden, for some reason, the birds seemed all very flighty and unsettled. Then I noticed why. I'm not the only one hunting this field, as a big buzzard just landed in the middle of the decoys. They're called the common buzzard here in the UK, but they're really a member of the hawk family and a bird of prey for those in America. It's hit, but not very well. Thankfully I followed it through the scope and finished the job. Your shooting sucks, that's why. A bit dramatic, but it's down. Oh, sit at peace, would ye? Where did it go? A bit more of the amateur dramatics, but it's down. Not much of a target here, but I go for the old headshot. I think I got matrixed there. Yes, I know, he's out tidying the decoys up again instead of shooting, but it's good to get out and stretch your legs now and again. Plus, I've seen more than once when birds have lost all interest in the decoy pattern. I go out, I tidy a few of the birds up, and by the time I get back into the hide, the birds have started landing again. Yeah, I did it again. You think I could count to 10? I wondered why that bird was sitting so high off the ground. It was sitting in one of my decoys. It's putting up a bit of a fight too, but it's done. Well, there's only so much sitting around in a wee pokey hide that one man can take. Plus, I'm getting hungry. I'm starving, hey. And I've still all these pigeons to pick up and all my gear to pack away before I go. Well folks, that's the end of another one. And as always, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks very much for the comments over the last weeks. Sorry I haven't been answering much of them, but I've been busy editing this stuff. And don't forget my other channel, Nitro HV, as I have a video out on Christmas Day on it as well. But until next year, take care and Merry Christmas to you!